Hello! In this module, we'll go ahead and review how to add services that you provide to a participant once you've created an account for them in QuickBase. So just to review, you've clicked on New Participant at this point if you haven't already activated them from the system. And in the tab here called Services Provided, you will be able to enter all of the types of one-to-one services that you provide to your participant. In this kind of fancy little grid here, you'll be able to indicate what kind of meeting it was. So from a drop-down, you'll be able to indicate if you met with that person face-to-face, or if you had a phone meeting. You'll let the data system know the date of the meeting when that occurred. There's a handy calendar function here as well that you can click on and easily select the date. You'll tell us how long the meeting duration was for. So let's say this is in person. And you want to write that in 15-minute increments, just like you do on your member timesheets. So if you met for let's say an hour and 15 minutes with somebody, you would write 1.25 hours. You want to always indicate the duration, like the time that you need to put in right there. So we want to just do that in terms of hours, just like you do on your timesheets. If you only met with somebody for 15 minutes, you would put 0.25 hours instead. And then in this box here, you can indicate activities that you completed with that person. And there's tons and tons of different options that you can select from here to indicate the type of information that you worked on together. So maybe it was helping somebody with some computer skills, or you worked on a job application, and let's say you also improved their resume. So you would select those two items, and if you just sort of click right out of that drop-down, they'll both be added right in there. If there's anything else that you did that you don't really see indicated on that drop-down, you can actually just type in here. Let's say you followed up with participants, Voc Rehab counselor. Let's just say that's something you did, but it's not something that you can select from the drop-down. You can always indicate that other activity just right directly in there through that text field. If there's any other notes that you'd like to include, let's say scheduled next meeting for 10/31, that'll just help you remember when you have your next meeting scheduled, or any other individual meeting notes that you'd want to include there. They're not required, but it can be helpful if you want to make sure that you're indicating any reminders for yourself and working with that person. And then if you do work with any participants on any course support modules that you get trained on through the workbook, that's where you'd be able to indicate them right here through this drop-down. Again, these are optional. The ones that are required are going to be the meeting type, the date of meeting, how long you met with them, and then those activities that are completed. So that's what you'll want to include. And then from there, you'll be able to go and click Save and Close, or Save and Next if you're working with another participant. If you did forget, let's say, like many of us do, to do our data entry regularly, and you have a couple of different meetings that you want to record for the same participant, you can just click on the next box, or the next row down, I should say, for that particular individual and complete the process as I just outlined.